Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie. For those who don't know me, with another and probably the final update of the Zeta and Timmy situation. As you know, a few days ago, Zeta had an interview detailing the demise of her relationship with Timmy from Love Island US. And since then, Timmy had said that he was going to speak out, and as of today, he has. So before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe and hit the bell, and leave a comment down below. I don't know if y'all saw that TMZ. I'm so sorry, Timmy. I'm trying to be unbiased, but when people talk to TMZ, I'm just like, come on now. Anyways, he had a conversation with TMZ basically saying like, it's unfortunate the way things happened, but homegirl knew what the deal was, and he was confused that all of a sudden the script had changed.
How's you and Zeta? You guys still together? Because I'm hearing different things, you know?
Yeah, no, we broke up. We're done right now. For a while, we actually haven't been on speaking terms, but it officially happened at the top of this year. The romance after the show ran thin. I'll admit that was on my part. I wasn't able to move forward in the romance for reasons that she is aware of. We did agree, me and Zeta agreed to move forward in a business manner. And that I think that was just tough for her on her side. And the romance just never was able to be figured out.
He then goes on his podcast, Everything is Something Everywhere. Everyone is everything. Hold on. What is it called? The podcast is called Everything is Something. I was close. Something like that. Okay. So basically, on the podcast, I'm going to be completely honest, there were a few things that made me feel like I don't really have the words. But one, the way that the video was chopped up, I wish that it was more of a continuous conversation, just so we don't feel like there was something that was said and it's like, okay, let me edit myself so much, you know what I mean? Just to get an authentic version of the story. Also, the way in which he was speaking did feel like he was coming from the defense. And of course, he is here to defend himself, so that does make sense. However, onto the actual conversation or the interview, he says that within the villa, there were times when him and Zeta had conversations about this being a mutually beneficial opportunity to win the game, secure some kind of business plan, and have an arrangement outside of the villa.
Gotta start from the ground up, man. I don't want to seem combative, bro. Right. I just feel like, she chose a route that I didn't necessarily think she was gonna do this. At the end of week 1, she mentions to me, she says, I think we can win this all. I think we can win it. Yeah. And she's whispering that to me. We don't feel comfortable having a full conversation about that. The mics are still on. Yeah. They get some people talking in the bed, and we were just like, we were kind of moving on the same type of time. There's such a spark between us, but we also were both savvy, and I saw how she was, handling herself, and I respected it. Right. And she saw it on my end too. So we knew. There was an understanding there type thing. It was an understanding, and we knew the cameras were still on. So but she did mention that, and she said, I think we can win it all. When she said that, it was very, I was like, oh, this girl's business savvy. Mm-hmm. She understands there is a ultimate goal of this experience, which is to find somebody, and then the ultimate goal would be to win with the person. Right. So she's telling me week 1, I think we can win it in week 6. She understands we're in a game, but she also understands we kicked it off strong, and it's this is an authentic ass vibe. Win-win, bro. Exactly, it's a win-win.
I'm not even shocked, honestly. Even if Zeta was to say it too, I would not be shocked. I feel like a lot of people who go on Love Island understand the show does have a large reach. US, not as much as the reach that UK has, but it is gaining the traction. So I'm not fully surprised if those conversations did happen. So there's a part of me, I'm being completely honest, there is a part of me that does believe conversations like that did happen. He does also say that near the end of the season, he did fall sick a few days before the finale and stuff like that. So he had just been having like an out of body experience near the finale, and he wasn't himself.
Bro, you look like you was like just like slumped over the
I was in a reunion.
Everybody's like they're in a bad mood.
You could check it. You could check
saying
it.
it too, like yeah, he's sick. It was noted you were sick.
It was noted, and I was sleeping in the van. I'm calling my roommate. I'm telling him, please pick me up. I'm not trying. They offered public transportation. I wasn't trying to sit on a train or go on a plane. I had my roommate pick me up. I pay him to come out there because I'm not trying to sit sick in an Uber.
Yeah.
He pulls up on me. I'm sick. I load up my bags. I leave.
Yeah.
That's it.
Makes sense.
I say bye to Zeta. I leave. Because that moment it's trying to say like right after the show, everything switched, and I was in it for whatever reason, and I don't think that's fair to me because of the documented situation I was in.
In my reviews, until y'all came from my neck, I was talking about how, like, I don't know, something is off between these two. And then y'all were saying, they already said he was sick. He's sick. So, okay, he was sick. One thing for me that was just a little bit off about the interview was the fact that he constantly mentioned issues in the relationship, but didn't divulge necessarily what were these issues. So I would have liked for him to address the I guess I could say the alleged gaslighting that Zeta referred to, the way that he said he was not going to treat her the way other people treated her, or even the whole choosing her by advice of his sister because she was a dark-skinned person and that's who America would vote for or something like that. And then even, what else did I want him to address? I wanted him to address more so like the dynamic between Timmy's sister and Zeta and why there was kind of a discourse. He did touch on it a little bit by saying he thought they had a better interaction than what Zeta had reported because both of them said the meeting was great.
So I had my sister go meet up with her because I'm in New York. She represents me. I think that's a nice gesture. You know, Zeta, she's very mindful of the public eye. So she'll tell me like, hey, like we haven't posted a lot. I know you got a lot going on, but like, you know, there's a, you know, like, can we at least jump on, you know, something. She definitely wanted to feed the Zimmy Nation, and she was definitely mindful and cognizant of that. All right, you know, her and my sister meet up, whatever. I think to take a picture, she could get to know my sister. Cool. Sister was the point of my sister meeting up with Zeta was for my sister to meet Zeta one, and then also speak on potential business because my sister actually she writes scripts. She has some potential work in the acting space that she wanted to present to Zeta.
Of course, like I said, there's his truth, her truth, and the truth. Child, we don't know. Child, we don't know. We're just here to talk about it, okay? We are just here to talk about it. So yeah, he didn't really get into the UK trip much at all. Basically, he was saying as a whole, they had agreed that this relationship was going to be a business deal and not a romantic, long-lasting relationship. So he's kind of surprised as to why she's reacting the way that she was, because he had reached out to her like, yo, is the business plan still the business plan? And she hadn't said anything. And then at the end of the podcast, he did say that they had decided to make a public announcement about the end of the relationship. However, that didn't really go down, and then he was blindsided by her interview.
We had that conversation via text. She's like, you know, my feelings have left you for a while. You know, she literally I have the text saying in December, my feelings have left you for a while. That ship has long sailed. So she's like, don't worry about that. We'll worry about cutting this off at the top of the year. We'll talk about it. She told me she was, you know, she was going to take some time to herself. And then at the top of the year, we're going to meet up and talk about how we're going to end this.
So my conclusion on the whole thing, honestly, I feel like there are obviously holes on both sides of the story. You're always going to try to tell the story in the most flattering way possible, most likely in your favor. I took away that he wasn't necessarily denying the things that Zeta said in her interview, but just giving context as to how things happened that way. So you guys can take it how y'all want to take it. He said he is done talking about it. I assume Zeta will also be done talking about it, except that private forum that she has with some of her supporters. But yeah, y'all let me know what you think in the comments down below. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. I guess I'll see you in the next one. I don't think there'll be a next one, but if there is, you know where to go. It's here, by the way. This is where you go. You come back here. We'll be here.